สวัสดีครับเพื่อนๆผมนาเดียนะครับวันนี้พี่เล็กก็อยู่กับเกม Genshin Impact ใน ID Free to Play ประจำปี 2022 ID Free Lumin ของเรานะครับเรากำลังจะมาเดินเควสเทพเจ้า Chapter 1 Act 3 ก็น่าจะเป็นตัวส่งท้ายของเควสเทพเจ้าหลักของเมืองลีเย่นะครับไปเริ่มกันเพราะว่า AR เราเพิ่งจะถึง 28 เมื่อสตรีมที่แล้วนี่เองมาแล้วโอเคตอนนี้นะครับเรา AR28 แล้วนะครับในที่สุดนะกับอีก115นิดๆนะครับก็ทำให้ปลดทั้งระบบอีเวนต์นะครับอีเวนต์ก็เริ่มที่จะมองเห็นละนะครับนี่คือเป้าหมายจริงๆนะครับสำหรับผู้เล่นใหม่ที่อยากจะเข้าร่วมในกิจกรรมอีเวนต์ตามช่วงเวลาของเกมเนี่ยพวกนี้มันตัวนี้มีให้ก่อนแล้วแต่ว่าตัวนี้เพิ่งจะมาเลยนะครับแต่ว่าเงื่อนไขมันจะต้องไปผ่านเควสหลายอย่างเนี่ยระบบการน้ำชาอย่างนี้นะครับก็มาแล้วโอเคเราจะไปทำเควสเทพเจ้ากันนะครับ A New Star Approach Chapter 1 Act 3 The Floating Palace นะครับไปที่เมาส์เทียนเฮงก็ต่อหลังจากเรื่องราวก็คือการยูมาเชิญเรานะครับไปพบหนิงกวงบนเจดแชมเบอร์นั่นเองนะครับปะเมาส์เทียนเฮงนู่นครับน่าจะต้องก็ค่อยปีนขึ้นทางไหนดีกิ่งไม้น่าจะช่วยเราจะต้องเคลียร์มอนสเตอร์ตรงนั้นก่อนเรากำลังพยายามหาทางไปยังเจดแชมเบอร์นะครับ
Reward on the road.
เราลองปีนด้วยกิ่งไม้อันนี้ดูนะครับด้วยไม้อันนี้น่าจะเกมน่าจะทำไว้ให้สำหรับปีนขึ้นข้างบนหรือเปล่านะโอ้ให้ล่วงโอ้ยเดี๋ยวนะครับเอาใหม่ ขึ้นหินแทนดีไหมA new star approach นะครับขึ้นมาได้แล้ว
Look up there. That's the Jade Chamber.
สูงมากเลยนะ
This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is.
เราน่าจะถามการยูนะ
Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around. There has to be a way up there nearby.
หาทางขึ้นไปยังเจดแชมเบอร์ตรงนั้นดูเหมือนจะเป็นทางนะเนี่ยเกาะหินลอยอันนั้นนะครับ นี่ไงไพมอนแนะนำเอาละ
Hey, look! There's some sort of mechanism thingy. Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with the Jade Chamber.
อาจจะเป็นทางไปเจดแชมเบอร์ก็ได้นะ
This must be the way.
ป่ะต้องลอง เอ้า ทางนี้สิ
Windblade.
นี่ไงครับ แล้วก็มีลม แล้วก็ที่ได้คิดว่าปึ๊บโอ้สวยงาม
It only takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach the top in one go.
เรากลับไปหลี่เย่แล้วก็ถามพวกทหารมิลิลิตดีไหม
Why? Or... Oh, Paimon gets it. If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right? Alright, let's follow your plan. Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment. Look down there. Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong Ballista.
ฮะ
Paimon has a new idea. Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista?
ไม่น่าจะใช้วิธีนั้นนะ
Oh, right.
จะยิงเราด้วยคุยจงบาลิส
This
ต้า
method
เนี่ยนะ
does
ไค
seem
มอน
a bit unsafe.
ไม่อาบิดแหละ แต่กุยจงบาลิสต้ามีสโคปอยู่นะ
Oh, that's right. Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong Ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
เอาไว้ในการหาวิธีแทน เปิดกล่องก่อนนะครับ
I'll keep this close.
โอเค 2 พิโมเจมสำหรับความพยายามในการมาที่นี่ กุยจงบาลิสต้า อยู่นั่น เมื่อกี้ไพมอนเห็นได้ยังไงนะภูเขามันบังนี่นะ อ้าว เจอทหารมิลิลิต
Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
เราแค่มาผ่านเฉยๆน่ะ
Exactly. What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us like this? No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millilith ambush here to arrest us.
ฉันคิดว่าไม่น่าจะเป็นแบบนั้นนะ
Now Paimon's mad. You, over there. This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless.
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come. Line them up and knock them down.
ต้องสู้กับทหารอีกแล้วไม่น่าต้องสู้กันเลยนะทหารของหลี่เย่แท้ๆ
Get him. No escape.
Tactical! Retreat!
To arms!
Prepare to be blown away.
ถึงแล้วเพิ่ม โอ้โห โอ้เก่ง
Cool it!
Wingblade.
Don't get frostbite! Tactical! Retreat!
มีทหารที่ยังค้างตกค้างอยู่ไหน โอเค หมดแล้ว
No one escapes my sights. Get him. Wingblade.
Freeze! Who goes there?
Be gone.
Attack!
Get back!
โอ้กดผิด
Dodge this! To arms! Take the target alive! Freeze!
หัวหน้ามานี่เลยหัวหน้า
Oh, so sorry. Dodge this!
No escape.
Attack!
Stop!
สวัสดีบีว่าด้วยครับ
What's all this about?
สวัสดีบีว่าด้วยนะ มาปั่นเควสเลยครับ
Lady Coaching, these two strange people suddenly appeared. They seem to have designs on the Guizhong Ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
เราแค่หาทางขึ้นไปเจดแชมเบอร์น่ะ
You want to go to the Jade
เครือ
Chamber?
ฉิง
Who are you?
We're invited guests here to look for the Liu Qixing. Who are you?
Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
โอ้
Oh,
I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing.
ยูหัง of ชีซิง
I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair, and yet it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding? Paimon never would have thought.
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Qixing.
That was... Huh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuhang, might you have any idea why Lady Tianquan invited us to go to the Jade Chamber?
Just call me Kuching.
โอเคเรียกฉันว่าเคอร์ชิงเถอะ
I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as well.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Huh?
You are mortals and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god. Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
เคอร์ชิงบอกว่าพวกเซียนเนี่ยจะดูมองเราแย่เกินไป
Got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it.
เป็นความเห็นส่วนตัวของเธอนะฮะ
Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them.
มีโอกาสที่เธอจะคุยกับเขาไหม
Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
เขาคิดว่าคือจะมาพึ่งพาเทพกับเซียนต่อไปมันก็อาจจะไม่ใช่คนต้องดูแลตัวเราเอง
Another super bold statement.
เคอร์ชิงมีความคิดที่แตกต่างนะครับกับคนส่วนใหญ่ในลีเย่
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Favor?
ไดมอนด์
But wait, that's right. Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just to respect Liyue's culture.
เนี่ยครับข้อความนี้ทำให้ไพมอนรู้สึกว่าต้องหาของขวัญไปให้หนิงกวงด้วย
All right. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and...
ให้ไปที่ยูไห่พาวิเลียน
Well
นะครับ
then,
แล้วเขาก็
may
บอก
we meet again, traveler.
วิธีการนี่น่าจะเป็นการพบกันครั้งแรกของเรากับเคอร์ชิงแบบได้คุยกันนะน่าจะเป็นครั้งนี้แหละนะครับก่อนหน้านี้ก็จะเป็นเราเจอหนิงกวงเห็นอยู่ที่ลานแล้วก็เนี่ยเราก็ได้เจอเคอร์ชิงตรงจุดนี้นะฮะ
Well,
มาช่วยบอก
Yuhang
วิธี
may
กับ
not
เรา
respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person.
ฉันก็ประทับใจเธอเหมือนกันนะ
So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night. Sugar frosted slime.
สลามเคลือบน้ำตาลเหรอไพมอน
Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang. Why don't we go with that for a gift?
แล้วเธอมีเมนูทำไหมล่ะ
Nope. But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka.
อันนี้จำคำเสียงหลิงมานะฮะ
Let's go gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
โอเคนะสำหรับเควสตอนนี้ทีนี้เดี๋ยวต่อไปก็ต้อง อีควิลิเบียมไปหาอินกรีเดียนที่ไพมอนต้องการเพื่อมาทำสลามเคลือบน้ำตาลไปเป็นของขวัญหนิงกวงนะครับเดี๋ยวอ่านแชทสักหน่อยวีว่าบอกว่าผมทำงานกะดึกเลยยาวเลยมานั่งคุยด้วยนะครับโอเคขอบคุณนะจ๊ะโทษทีนะครับเนื้อเรื่องมันมีสคริปต์เยอะนะพี่เดชก็พยายามรันทรูตัวเควสนะครับให้มันคืบหน้าอันนี้ก็เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของเควสเทพเจ้าส่วนท้ายของ chapter 1นะป่ะไพมอนต้องการอะไรบ้างล่ะเรากดนำทางได้เลยนะครับนี่เควสจะบอกจริงๆมี3อย่างอีกอย่างอยู่ไหนเหรอให้ไปตรงนี้ก่อนแล้วเราก็มาตรงวงกลมก่อนนะครับตามไป
Look at that slime. It looks crystal clear and very delicious.
ไพมอนต้องการสลามอันนี้สินะได้แล้ว1ไปต่อครับแล้วก็มาเจอพวกโจร
Huh? Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that?
เหมือนมีคนต้องการความช่วยเหลือนะ
It seemed like it came from those ruins over there. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
ต้องไปช่วยคนแหละ
There's no end to this.
Prepare to be blown away!
We're open there. Cool it.
No one escapes my sight!
Dodge this. Don't get frostbite.
โอเคได้กุญแจมาแล้วนะครับโอ้ extra sweet flower ได้แล้วส่วนประกอบที่3กุญแจเปิดเหม็งดานนะครับว่าไงช่วยมาได้ละ
Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders, when their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
It was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I understand. Don't worry, I will compensate you both. Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing Jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew it, they'd caught and imprisoned me. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it. Well, as long as you want what I have to offer, of course.
แค่ความหวังดีของคุณก็พอ
Wait a
แล้วล่ะ
moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use to store snacks.
ไพมอนอยากได้กล่องสวยๆนะครับเอาไว้ใส่ของให้หนิงกวง
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing
Mingxing-
Jewelry, we
Mingxing
have
Jewelry.
the best gift wrapping service in the 7 nations. Now just give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon sugar frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package.
มีกล่องใส่แล้วครับ เรียบร้อยไปหมิงซิงจิวเวลรี่นะครับ เมื่อกี้คือเราก็ได้ส่วนผสมเนี่ยครับ ได้ดอกสวีทฟลาวเวอร์ไออันที่มันเป็นอันพิเศษอ่ะอันนั้นนะครับ เดี๋ยวมาดูในของเควสหน่อยสินี่มีสลามแล้วก็มีเอ็กซ์ตร้าสวีทโอเคไปหมิงชิงจิวเวลรี่ในหลี่เย่ตอนนี้เป็นภารกิจเตรียมของขวัญไปให้หนิงกวงนะนี่ไง
Hey there! A guy called Mung Dan told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Uncle Mung already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him. Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Mung. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history.
Oh.
It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
Yep. It's great! Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Sure, please help yourselves, as long as it's on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack.
โอ้จะเอาของแอนทีคมาทำเป็นชามผสมนะ
It's done! The one and only sugar frosted slime! Carefully now. Into the box it goes and dust it over with a bit more powdered sugar.
Oh, yes. You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations too.
Woohoo!
Wow.
It looks beautiful!
มาแล้วชูการ์ฟรอสลามีดอกไม้อยู่ข้างบนด้วยนะครับ กล่องก็สวย
Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
ไปหานิงกวงกันครับ
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
หาไกด์ไปเจดแชมเบอร์นี่ไปตามนำทางเควสนะฮะก็ฉิงบอกว่าให้ไปที่ยูไห่พาวิเลียนคือที่นี่ครับเหมือนเป็นออฟฟิศของหนิงกวงที่หลี่เว่นะเป็นออฟฟิศของเครือฉิงอะไรประมาณนั้นนะนี่จริงๆอันนี้คือทางขึ้นครับนี่ไง ไม่ต้องไปปีนเขาให้มันยาก
This is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
น่าจะเป็นรหัสลับ
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speaking of which, are you two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged to meet with today?
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guess, but for the Yuhang. What's going on here?
เป็นโค้ดของยูฮังเหรอคืออะไรกัน เราก็ขึ้นแผ่นหินมานะครับ เหมือนมีลิฟต์ พาขึ้นมาบนเจดแชมเบอร์ขึ้นมาแล้ว
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Joyen Karst.
It's Ningguang! Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
Oh no, it's nothing.
ที่นี่สวยมากเลยนะเจดแชมเบอร์เนี่ย
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke highly of you. As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
เขาก็จับตามองเราอยู่แล้ว
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait, was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? No. Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours. At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings.
เชิญเรามาเพื่อแก้ไขความเข้าใจผิดบางอย่าง เขาบอกว่าเราเข้าใจผิดนะ หรือมีใครพยายามทำให้เราเข้าใจผิดนะคุยกับท่านหญิงหนิงกวงนะฮะมาเจอกับท่านหญิงลูมีน
I believe that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago.
2,000 ปีมาแล้ว
Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7.
The 7
You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before. Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions.
ทำไมถึงต้องเอาเอ็กซูเวียไปซ่อนด้วย
That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, traveler?
ต้องเป็นเขาแน่ๆเลย
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered.
คือฟาทุย
The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete. So please, this way.
เข้าไปยังเจดแชมเบอร์ครับ ที่เป็นเควสเทพเจ้าเรียกว่าสำคัญเลยนะที่ก่อนที่อินาซึมะจะมาเนี่ย นี่ก็จะเป็นเรื่องราวหลังๆอะ
What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
ผู้เล่นก็ไม่มีคอนเทนต์ใหม่ๆอยู่นานนะครับ จนกว่าอินาซึมะจะมาแล้วเราก็ได้มีคอนเทนต์เพิ่มอีกมากมาย นี่หนังสือ2หนังสือ2เล่ม
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes first. Naturally.
Ooh, isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that. If possible, I'd like to have your trust.
เขาอยากให้เราเชื่อในตัวเขานะครับ
But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching,
orthodoxy heterodoxy โอ้โหยากอ่ะก็เอาเลือกข้อ2แล้วกัน
you'd pick Kuching? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power. Indeed, it seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. the Chising only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return. So, does that include us?
ไพมอนมาทวงของเลยตอนนี้
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please, and you may take it with you.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that. Let's see, what should we get? One of the sheets on that wall.
โถไพมอน
Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for.
โถไพมอน
Let's grab one. The biggest.
So, have you made your choice? You don't have to confirm it with me. Just choose one and take it. Afterwards, why not sit down for a while in the Jade Chamber? Or have a short stroll? Rest is also an integral part of any journey. Come now. There's no need to stand on ceremony. Loosen up a little.
โอเคไพมอนบอกเนี่ยครับคือเควสมันบอกแหละว่าต้องเอากระดาษอันนี้แล้วมันกระดาษนี้มันจะเกี่ยวข้องกับเนื้อเรื่องสิ่งที่เราต้องทำนะนี่วงกลมอันนี้อะไรเนี่ย
Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one.
นี่ไงไพมอนติดกับอย่างจัง เอาแผ่นนี้จริงๆด้วย
La 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 la. Let's see what's written on it. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here. Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a Chising spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the Sigil of Permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue. Spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's
Liyue.
body and whatnot. But research on the Sigil of Permission? Paimon wonders what they're up to. Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the Sigil of Permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out. Oh, you really think so? Well, should we not go then? Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
นะครับเรียบร้อยสำหรับเควสนี้แล้วก็ไปยังนี่เราเอากระดาษไปแล้วนะครับไปยังสถานที่ที่มาร์กไว้บน Paper Snow กระดานอันสุดแสนจะโด่งดังนะครับเควสก็จะไกด์เราครับว่าที่นั่นคือนี่ตรงนี้นะครับดูจากในรูปไม่ค่อยชัดก็สามารถที่จะเควสบอกอยู่แล้วนะครับมาที่นี่แล้วกันมันจะต้องมีความลับอะไรนะครับที่ฟาทุยกำลังค้นคว้าเกี่ยวกับ Sigil of Permission มาดูคุ้นๆนะป่ะฮิลซะหน่อยนะครับเลือดไม่เต็มเนื้อเรื่องกันแบบเน้นๆแน่นๆเลยนะฮะ นู่นแวะพักหน่อยเปลี่ยนเครื่องนิดนึงนะฮะชาร์จสตามิน่าโอเคยิงธนูมาโอ้โหเต็มไปด้วยฟาทุยนะได้
There really were fatui at the location written down on this piece of paper. And they look really mad at us too.
Flash frost.
Dodge this.
Freshness preserved. Chill to the bone.
โอ้โหไม่ได้อยู่ใกล้ๆมันเสียเปรียบครับ
Freeze.
Frozen. I slipped up.
โอเค
Dodge this.
เหมือนมันเต่า
Oh, so sorry. Freeze.
Chill to the bone.
No escape! Go, Baron Bunny!
Cool it.
เรียบร้อยไปหนึ่ง
Frozen.
Freeze.
มันเต่า
Appear to be blown away! You'll pay for that!
Cool it.
กลางมันก่อนตัวตาหิน
Windblade!
Dodge this. Freeze. This moment will be frozen in time. Cool it. Finally.
โอเค
Some quiet.
โอ้โหเรียบร้อยนะโอ้โหเนี่ยอย่างเงี้ยสถานการณ์อิ่มกินอาหารไม่ได้นะครับโอเคความรู้แนะนำฟาทุยน้ำแข็งสคริมมิเชอร์ป่ะไม่ใช่ตรงนี้ข้างบนมีฟาทุยบนนี้อีก
Dodge this.
อันนี้เป็นตัวไฟเหรอ
Freeze!
You need to hurry up.
Cool it!
This one's well done.
Windblade.
ไปไหนแล้ว
Dodge this!
This one's well done. You need to hurry up.
เรียบร้อย
Feels hot.
โอเคปึ๊บปึ๊บโอ้โห มาอีกแล้วครับ ตัวน้
Cool it!
Go on.
So soft! Dodge this!
No one escapes my sight.
This should be fun.
Cool it!
ำเอาโอเค นี่ฟาทูรีเสิร์ช
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper too. What are they for?
เหมือนเป็นก๊อปปี้ของพวกยันนะ
Paimon's seen this pattern before. But where? Oh, Paimon knows. It looks just like the sigil of permission the child gave you.
ใช่แล้วเหมือนที่ชายให้มานั่นแหละ
But how did a relic of the adept die end up in the hands of someone like Child? Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect. Being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous.
เหมือนว่าพวกฟาทุยเนี่ยกำลังทำอะไรบางอย่างนะ
And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhongli soon. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
ตีหัวมาร์ชไปเจอจงหลีที่ตีหัวมาร์ชนะครับ แล้วเราก็ไปฮีลก่อนนะ ไปฮีลก่อน เลเซอร์แบบไม่ไหวแล้ว โอเคปะอ้อมไปดีกว่าจงหลีอยู่นี่ฮะ
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you talk about with her?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly. Yeah, her take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. She thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
Oh, so you also met with Keqing then? What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart, though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
นี่จงหลีบอกว่า Jade Chamber นี่มันสำคัญกับหนิงกวงมากนะครับแม้ว่าเธอจะยอมออกจากตำแหน่งเทียนชวนแต่เธอก็จะไม่มีวันยก Jade Chamber ให้กับใคร
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
อ๋อ
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue and that they aren't to be trusted.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least. No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Dihua Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingsa Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. No, I need you to sing to them.
ให้เราร้องเพลง
Singing to the flowers will make them more fragrant.
So how good is your singing? Really? Why doesn't Paimon believe you?
We'll only know once she starts singing.
เราต้องร้องเพลงให้เกรซลิลลี่ฟังนะจงหลีบอกหาเกรซลิลลี่ป่านะครับจงหลีบอกร้องเพลงให้มันฟังนะมันเป็นสิ่งสำคัญต่อพิธีมากนี่เจอแล้วเกรซลิลลี่ป่า
It's time to sing whenever you're ready.
Da 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 da.
เพลงบาบาร่านี่เดี๋ยว what
These flowers are jumping. They look really
ใช่เหรอ
angry. Is it
เกรซลิลลี่ทำไมเป็นอย่างนี้ล่ะ
that they don't understand
อ่ะจัดไปหนึ่ง
Be gone!
This moment will be frozen in time.
Windblade!
โอ้โหโดนยิงรัวๆโอ้โหเดี๋ยวโอ้ยอาหารจะหมดโอเค
Go, go, berry pet! Ha! Ja! Ha!
อ๋อ
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. These petals look interesting. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
That's so lame.
Excuse me.
อ้าวการยู
Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey, it's... What's her face? Paimon can't remember.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name. Ah, that reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her serious attitude now?
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
เขาเห็นสวนในยูจิงทาเรสแล้วก็คิดถึงการจากไปของเร็กซ์ลาปิสนะฮะ
Sorry, we shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the guard.
The Seven 5 เทพเจ้าใน The Seven ก็จากไปแล้วก็เหลือ Animo God คือเวนติกับ Rex Lapis.
Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7.
เหลือแค่ Barbados.
The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. She is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This
This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War.
นี่การยูนี่อยู่มาตั้งแต่ Archon War นะฮะ
After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies? I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here, you may have it if you wish.
We dare not refuse it.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff, too. Thanks, Ganyu.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now. Good luck.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished.
พิธีกรรมก็เตรียมการเสร็จสักทีนะ
Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
ได้มาแล้ว Wild Grace Lily นะครับ กลับไปที่หลีเว่พี่เดชคิดว่าควรจะฮีลก่อนนะแล้วเดี๋ยวทำอาหารจะหมดนะ เดี๋ยวเวลายามออกศึกแล้วไม่มีแต่วัตถุดิบเองก็อาจจะเหลือน้อยแล้วด้วย เราใช้รัวๆเลยนะ จริงๆก็คือเราจะประหยัดกว่านี้ถ้าเราปั้นตัวละครให้มันแข็งแกร่งนะตั้งแต่การอัพเลเวลตัวละครให้สุดเลเวลของอาวุธเบรกเลเวลตัวละครซึ่งก็ยังไม่สุดนะฮะอัพตีบัวอาร์ติแฟกต์ให้เยอะอะไรเงี้ยมันก็จะง่ายขึ้นเวลาเราต้องผ่านต่อสู้กับบอสหรือว่าศัตรูต่างๆแต่ตอนนี้เรากำลังเร่งเนื้อหานะก็เลยยังไม่ไปทำตรงนั้นเราก็พยายามจะดันเควสไปให้ได้ให้คืบหน้าไปให้ได้อ่ะเราต้องไปไหนน่าจะเป็นยูจิงเทเรสหรือท่าเรืออ๋อท่าเรือเหรอมันจะเป็นทางเข้าทางนี้นะฮะโอ้มีฟาทูอยู่หน้าเมืองด้วย
What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and the Fatui?
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millelith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
มีอะไรเราจะ
Do
ช่วย
you
ได้บ้างไหม
intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your sword to turn the balance? Neither path is an easy one.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the gates.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng funeral parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword. So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse?
น่าจะหมายถึงชายนะ
Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him. He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really bad. But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
น่าจะมีที่เดียวแหละที่เขาจะไป Golden House ครับ นี่แหละถึงเวลาแล้วพี่เล็กกำลังคิดว่าจะปรับทีมเล็กน้อยนะฮะเรเซอร์กับคายะกำลังคิดว่าจะเอาตัวไหนดีพี่เล็กจะสลับเอาแอมเบอร์ออกนะครับแล้วก็เอาบาบาร่าใส่แทนเอาไปฮิลดีกว่า
We can do this.
ไป Golden House เดี๋ยวทำอาหารก่อนมีตรงไหนให้คุกกิ้งได้บ้างไหมไปภัตตาคารวันมินนะฮะขอยืมเตาบ้านเซียงหลิงแล้วกันไก่ก็ทำได้ไม่เยอะนะฮะแล้วก็มีมัตสึอย่างดีอันนี้มัตสึทาเกะมิโรใช้บาบาร่าทำ ปลดล็อกอัตโนมัติทำอีกกี่อันโอเคแล้วก็เปลี่ยนเมนูนะฮะไก่ก็ทำสักหน่อยทำได้5 อันก็ได้แล้วก็มีอะไรทำได้อีกอันนี้เพิ่มคริเจดพาเซลเพิ่มแอตแทกแอนคริเรททำได้อีกอันหนึ่งไหมโอเคโอเคน่าจะหมดละที่เราจะทำได้อาจจะอันนี้Radish แค่1 ดาวเองนะทำไปอย่างนั้นแหละโอเคไปนี่ครับ Golden House ไม่สามารถไปได้ด้วยGolden House เราต้องไปเองสินะถึงแล้วครับโรงกระสาบที่หลอมเหรียญโมราของทั้งเทแวกนะครับทำที่นี่ Golden House ของลีเว่ยถึงแล้วไม่มีคนเลยเป็นดันเจียนครับเลคคอมเมนต์เลเวล37ไปนั่นไงเอ็กซูเวียร่างมังกร
It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside?
โอ้โหเต็มไปด้วยเหรียญโมรา
Full of Mora. This is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing.
ถ้าเราไปเอาโมราเป็นแม้แต่เหรียญเราต้องแย่แน่ๆเลยไพมอน
Oh, so it's a trap. Tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right?
ไพมอนถูกดึงดูดด้วยเงินนะ
Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true.
เราต้องไปดูเอ็กซูเวียก่อน
Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia. Huh? Look! What happened
อ้าว
here?
ทหาร
Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
มันต้องมีอะไรแน่ๆ โ เอ็กซูเวียมังกรนะฮะ
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
เสียงคุ้น
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
แย่ละ
Where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But who could have possibly guessed that the god of Geo would mysteriously perish the very moment I arrived in Liyue, and that the Exuvia would subsequently be hidden away? If it weren't for that lovely little rite of parting ceremony you put together, it would have taken me a whole lot longer to get the information I needed. Stopping the Moraments, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
ไพมอนเริ่มเข้าใจแล้ว
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires.
จะไม่ให้เธอเข้าใกล้เอ็กซูเวีย
I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
ชายบอกเขาชอบการต่อสู้มากกว่าภารกิจอีก
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there? Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. How unbecoming.
Cool it!
Prepare to be blown away! La 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 la.
Dodge this! Run all you like! You've made some progress. Not bad. You've got a trick. Haha! Good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger. All you do is run.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Cool it!
your luck run out? Raging tide! No use hiding back there. Something else catch your eye? Break! Got you.
Windblade!
Freeze!
Yeah!
โอ้
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get.
โหใช้พลังหินกับลมคู่กันเลย สุดยอด
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now.
อ้าวไม่มี
I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You
เห็นดีลูชั่นอยู่ที่เข็มขัด
do it,
นะครับ
didn't you?
ชายเดือดแล้ว
This is going to cost you!
Uh,
ทำลายพื้นซะพังเลยชาย การต่อสู้สุดท้ายกินอาหารก่อน
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you.
we didn't take it!
อ้อ โอ้ยปลาวานมา
Let's dance!
Dodge this.
Windblade!
Die here. Duplicate frostbite. Cool it.
โอ้ ปาวานปาวาน
Dodge this. I taste blood.
Die.
โอ้แย่
You're cut above.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons.
ภารกิจเขายังไม่จบ
Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
คิดว่ามันเป็นของปลอมเหรอ
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process.
มีแบ็กอัพแพลนด้วย
The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osile,
Osile.
overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since.
โอซายอ่ะ
If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
จะใช้โอซายล่อเล็กซ์ราพิสตัวจริงออกมา
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing. Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? Paimon's exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Liyue yet, has it?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? But all of you are supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Yep.
มาแล้วควยจงบาลิสต้าเวอร์ชันอัปเกรดฟาสวี
The Fatui! They're attacking the Guizhong Ballista!
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
You can't run! It isn't time for a break yet.
Looks like I
การมัน
Prepare to be blown away!
cool it. Freeze.
My work.
อ๋อทางนู้นอีก
Oh, so sorry. Cool it. I miscalculated.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
โอ้
Ready, steady, go!
แย่แล้วโดนโอเซล
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snesh and I's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
สายยิว
The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many between two! We can't hold...
แย่ละ
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
แย่แล้ว
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light
ถ่าย
from your
energy
body! It's like the time in Julian Cars!
จัดการมัน โอ้สุดยอด
Shockwave! This granny's really strong!
โอ้เยี่ยมไปเลย ได้บัฟจากเซียน โอ้แย่แล้วทางนู้น
My duty.
Get back!
Let's dance!
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight!
My name means
โอซาวนะฮะ โอซาว
Take my power and run as I do.
โอ้เพิ่มสปีด ได้บัฟจากเซียว แย่แล้ว ต้องระวังน้ำจากโอเซลนะครับ มันแรงมาก
I'll protect us.
โอเซล5 หัว
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Resistance. Fine.
ได้บัฟ ได้บัฟ
Cool it.
My work.
Windblade!
Oh, so sorry.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Looks like this isn't good. Yes.
Prepare to be blown away!
Freeze! This moment will be frozen.
My duty.
Blink! Let me amuse myself.
นู้น40 วิตรงนั้น
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Look at me.
เย่
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
แย่แล้ว เซียวมาช่วยไว้ สวยงาม
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
ฮะ
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
ใช้เจดแชมเบอร์ในการสยบโอซาวนะครับอู้
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time.
อ๋อ เอฟเฟกต์ของซีจิลที่ชายใช้เนี่ย มันใช้ได้ไม่ได้นานมากนะ
It will be some time before the overlord of the vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
อันนี้คือสิ่งที่เราเรียนรู้จากเมืองแห่งความอิสระนะฮะ
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
ชังบอกมาเยี่ยมเราอีกนะในเทศกาล Lantern Rite ครั้งหน้า
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
เขาฟังสิ่งที่ผู้คนพูดกันนะ
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the conqueror of demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
พวกเซียนไปแล้ว
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
เราไปหาจงหลีที่วังเชง Funeral Parlor กันครับ หลังจากแผนการของชายก็ไม่สำเร็จนะ หาโนซิสไม่ได้เราก็ยังสงสัยว่าตัว Exuvia นั้นเป็นของปลอม แล้วก็ Rexapis อาจจะยังอยู่หรือเปล่าอย่างนี้นะฮะแต่ว่าเราผู้บริหารของหลีเว่ก็ช่วยกันนะครับร่วมกับเหล่าเซียนปกป้องหลีเว่กับโอแซลตัวเทพน้ำวนนะครับที่โดนเรียกขึ้นมาเอาไว้ได้ก็ปลอดภัยกันไปอีกครั้งหนึ่งจงหลีอยู่ไหนไปหาที่วังเชง Funeral Parlor แล้วพิธีส่งเซียนจะยังมีอีกไหม ในเมื่อไม่รู้ว่าจริงๆแล้วเร็กซ์ลาพิสอาจจะยังอยู่ก็ได้หรือเปล่า
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui?
อยู่ที่ Northland Bank เหรอ
Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
ไปหาจงหลีที่ Northland Bank กดนำทางนะครับเกมก็จะช่วยเรานำทางพาเราไป
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Signora นี่
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you're also one of the harbingers?
Signora
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on.
Signora กับจงหลีเหรอ
So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax? Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
Agreement?
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
ฮะ Gnosis ของเทพหิน
How sanctimonious.
จงหลีคือเร็กซ์ลาพิสเหรอเนี่ย
What? So you're the Lord of Chiao? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
แล้วทำว่าตัวเองตายทำไมอ่ะ
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
แล้วเธอชอบใจกับผลลัพธ์ไหมหรือเอาช้อยสองดีเธอมีแผนสำรองไหมถ้าทุกอย่างมันถูกพังทลายไป
That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me, and it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything.
If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god,
the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liu, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liu. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
เดี๋ยวล่าไปแล้วครับได้โนซิสแล้วเพนเลย
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
อะไรมันคุ้มค่ากับการที่คุณให้โนซิสไปอ่ะ
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
ออกจากนอร์ทแลนด์แบงค์ครับคุยกับจงหลีก่อน
Can't absorb so much information at once. So Zhongli, what sort of contract did you sign with the Cryo-Archon? Paimon's so curious.
One of the clauses of our contract was not to divulge any of its
โอ้
contents.
ห้ามเปิดเผย
You're so petty.
สรุปก็คือไม่ยอมบอกนะฮะออกก็ได้
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
เราจะไปทำพิธีส่งเซียนนะครับ ถึงแม้เทพหินเร็กลาปิสจริงๆจะยังไม่ตายยังอยู่ แต่ก็ไอมอนก็บอกก็เตรียมการมาซะเหนื่อยขนาดนี้แล้ว จะไม่ไปซะหน่อยก็กระไรอยู่คนหลี่เว่เนี่ยเขาไม่รู้นะฮะเขาก็เชื่อว่าเร็กลาปิสเนี่ยจากไปแล้วจริงๆเพื่อให้มนุษย์เนี่ยได้ดูแลตัวเองกัน
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
เขาบอกว่าเขาสงสัยว่าคนที่ปล่อยโอซาออกมากับคนที่ฆ่าเล็กซาปินนี่เป็นคนเดียวกันหรือเปล่า
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
โอ้นั่นเลยชายโดนเต็ม
Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
ชาวเมืองก็สงสัยว่าชายแน่ๆก็คือเหมือนที่ชายบอกว่าพวกเธอเป็นฮีโร่แต่ฉันน่ะโดนคนมองว่าเป็นฆาตกร โถ
Hear ye all the Chising's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said.
เขาบอกเร็กซาพีสเนี่ยไม่ได้ถูกฆ่าคล้ายๆกับแบบกลับสู่สวงสวรรค์อะไรประมาณนี้
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
ก็เป็นไปได้นะ
Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
จุดเริ่มต้นนะครับก็เป็นจุดจบ
Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Huh?
Yikes! She really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Chising always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
ฉันต้องการแค่ช่วยตามหาคนหายฉันน่ะเขาถามว่าเราต้องการอะไรไหมเคอร์ชิงมาถามนะครับ คุยกับคนนะ
Why were you just trying to look cool earlier, or are you really that selfless? If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that in private.
นี่ไง คุยกับคน คุยกับหนิงกวง
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too when our deeds come up for their review.
ใช่งั้นก็การอยู่
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
เรียบร้อย หาจงหลีครับ นี่พิธีนะฮะ นี่เครื่องหอม นี่ว่าว นี่ตัวเอเซนต์อันนี้กระดิ่ง แล้วหินอยู่ไหน หินมงคลนะฮะ จงหลีอยู่นู่น อุ้ยเดี๋ยวนะครับ ลองดูฉากก่อน หินอาจจะเป็นอันนี้ไหม หรืออันนี้เป็นโคม หรืออันนี้คือเจดที่เอามาเจรไนแล้ว น่าจะใช่นะ สวยงามนะครับ นี่พิธีเป็นแบบนี้ คุยกับจงหลี
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Shinya kiosk.
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinya kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon, so I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed.
Closed?
Yes. The nation has been closed by order of its deity, the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
เราถามได้แล้วนะครับเขาจะให้ข้อมูลเราเหมือนตอนเบนติ
that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Chising were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead.
เขามีได้ข่าวว่า Rex Lapis จริงๆยังไม่ตายก็เลยไม่ต้องหาคนฆ่า
I hinted as much to the Adepti as well.
ฉันจงหลีบอกว่าฉันบอกพวกเซียนด้วย
How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions?
พวกความฝัน
All right then. Was there anything
แล้ว
else
ก็
you
เกี่ยวกับ
wished?
ชาย
About that. Before the Chising made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Chising from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else
สำหรับ
you wish to
ลีเย่
know?
ชีซิง
The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Chising don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Chising's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti. Could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything
ก็
else you
สุดท้าย
wish
ครับ
to
เกี่
know?
ยวกับโมรา
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo-Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora! The world is coming to an end!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Qixing to debate.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea. It's a shame.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to
โอ
know?
เค ไม่มีอะไรแล้ว
Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
เขาให้ข้อมูลเกี่ยวกับอินาซึมะกับเรานะครับ เมืองต่อไป และ Chapter 1 Act 3 ก็จบนะครับ A New Star Approach อย่างเป็นทางการ ได้ขวดอัพดาวของนักเดินทางธาตุหินมาด้วยนะครับ นี่ครับ แล้วก็เปิดเควสนะครับ The Crane Return on the Wind ก็คือเควสของเฉินเหอนั่นเองนะฮะ เห็นไหมเป็นเควสเทพเจ้า Interlude Chapter Act 1 นะครับ แล้วก็มีเควส World Quest Den Slave Chapter 1 Act 4 อันนี้ไม่เขียน Archon นะ เขียนว่า World Quest น่าสนใจนะครับ แต่จริงๆนี่คือเควสใหญ่นะครับ อันนี้ แต่จริงๆมันไม่ต้องเรียงกัน อันนั้นยังไม่ต้องทำก็ได้ อันนี้ก็สามารถจะทำได้นะครับ โอเค มีอะไรอีก นี่ครับ Fleeting Colors in Flight บอกว่า Complete Jade Chamber Rising to Unlock ยังไม่ยอมให้เข้านะครับ แต่มี A Teapot to Call Home Complete a Quest A Teapot to Call Home Exploring Population ระบบตกปลาครับ Complete a Teapot to Call Home Part 1 อันนี้คือเพื่อปลดระบบการน้ำชาแล้วก็ตกปลา A Teapot to Call Home นี่ก็สามารถจะไปเควสได้เลย นี่ The Crane Return on the Wind คืออันนี้ครับเควสเทพเจ้าส่วนของที่จะต้องทำก่อนจะมาทำอีเวนต์นี้ได้ นี่นะครับ Jade Chamber Rising ดูสิพรีโมเจมเราเป็นไงบ้าง โอเค ยังไม่ได้พอจะกดอะไรได้อีกนะฮะและนี่ก็ผู้คนก็แยกย้ายแล้วนะครับหลิงกวงก็อยู่ตรงนั้น
All right then. Was there anything else? Well
okay.
then.
จบเควสอย่างเป็นทางการนะครับโอ้โหแบบยาวมากๆเฮ้ยตรงนี้ยังมีคนอยู่อันนี้เข้าเควสใหม่แล้วนะครับ
everyone here today to make an important announcement.
อันนี้คือเรื่องราวหลังจากเหตุการณ์นั้นนะที่เจดแชมเบอร์โดนทำลายไปแล้วนะครับแล้วก็จงหลีก็คนก็นึกว่าตอนนี้เป็นยุคของมนุษย์ละเทพเนี่ยก็ไปละนะครับไม่ใช่เทพละมนุษย์ก็ดูแลกันเองแล้วก็มีเรื่องนี่คือไอเดียที่หลิงกวงจะมาประกาศกับชาวเมืองหลังจากน่าจะผ่านไปสักช่วงหนึ่งนะครับจากกลียุควิกฤตนั้นแต่ทีนี้เดี๋ยวพี่เดชจะขอขั้นเวลาตรงนี้แป๊บหนึ่งนะครับแป๊บหนึ่งเดี๋ยวมาเราจะไปต่อกันเลยนะฮะ มาแล้วนะครับแป๊บหนึ่งนะครับสวัสดีไพศาลด้วยนะครับทักช้าไปหน่อยนะเรื่องราวยาวมากครับใช่ภาพสวยเรื่องราวสนุกครับโอเคเดี๋ยวนะครับแป๊บหนึ่งกินน้ำหน่อยกินน้ำเรากำลังจะเข้าสู่เควสเทพเจ้าอันถัดไปนะครับที่เป็นอินเตอร์ลูดมั้งนะครับเป็นเควสเทพเจ้าขั้นก็ยังเป็นของเมืองลีเว่แต่ก็เรื่องราวสำคัญจนเขายกระดับให้เป็นเควสเทพเจ้าเช่นกันนะฮะอย่างที่บอกเป็นเหตุการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นต่อจากเควสอันนี้เลยบางทีเราก็เรียกว่าเควสเฉินเหอนะฮะพร้อมแล้วไหมพร้อมแล้วไหมนะครับโอเคป่ะนะครับก็ต่อกันที่ตรงนี้ฮะหนิงกวงประกาศอะไรบางอย่างกับชาวเมืองนะครับนี่ฉันเรียกทุกคนมานะเพื่อที่จะมามีประกาศที่สำคัญมากในวันนี้
Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
เขามีแผนจะสร้างเจดแชมเบอร์ขึ้นมาใหม่จริงๆเหตุการณ์นี้มันเกิดขึ้นเนี่ยมันเว้นช่วงพอสมควรเลยนะครับไม่ใช่ว่าแบบทุ่มไปเสร็จปุ๊บก็สร้างใหม่เลยแต่เนื่องจากเรามาเล่นตามหลังเนี่ยนะครับเราก็เล่นต่อเนื่องกันได้เลย
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project.
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price of building materials has gone up so much lately.
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a huge opportunity.
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project. Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today. The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. 3 key items are, however, still outstanding. They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other two.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically Vermilionite, may earn themselves the Sunset moniker. This stone is what allows the Jade Chamber to float. Wonder Cores, meanwhile, are the central components of the mechanical structure of the Jade Chamber. Adepti Sigils serve as a means of integrating the mechanical devices with Adepti art. They are as indispensable as the mechanical core itself. Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities, procuring them will not be a question of if, but of when. I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find, and in addition, the first 3 people who collect all the materials will have the opportunity to ask me a question. You may ask me anything, and I will give you an honest answer. I trust that this means of compensation will be to everyone's satisfaction.
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyue Harbor's development plan for next year...
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is priceless. Whoever gets to it first takes the market.
Haha, what a coincidence. I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some plot strike just the other day. So excuse me all, but I have some business to do.
ไปแล้วครับ แย่งกันหา
No.
แร่
Better
ทั้ง
move
สาม
quickly, or this opportunity will be snatched away from us.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is a huge deal! Let's get involved!
So you heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interested? Yes. Providing the question pertains to something I am knowledgeable about.
นี่ก็บอกถ้าจะถามกับเรื่องพี่ชายของฉันแต่จริงๆแล้วตอนที่เราช่วยหลี่เย่ไว้เนี่ยนะครับเขาก็มีสิทธิ์บอกว่าเนี่ยเราอยากได้อะไรเราก็บอกแค่ว่าช่วยประกาศตามหาคนหายให้หน่อยจริงๆแล้วเนี่ยมันก็อาจจะเป็นเรื่องที่เราน่าจะถามตั้งแต่คราวก่อนแล้วนะครับไม่น่าจะใช่เหตุผลที่เรามาเข้าร่วมอะไรเงี้ยแต่ก็โอเคนะครับจริงๆคนก็ลืมกันไปแล้วเพราะว่ากว่าเควสนี้จะมาเนี่ยมันมีอินาซึมะมาขั้นไปแล้วนะครับมีเรื่องราวมากมาย
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will ask you about how to run a business. Then we'll never be short of Mora ever again.
Of course. But how much information I share with you will depend on your performance. The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site. Once you have collected the materials, please take them there. I have other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to the site in person. When you do arrive, please seek out my secretary. Remember, this is a race against the clock. A rare opportunity presents itself to you. Do not let somebody else snatch it from your grasp.
Ningguang seems super busy. Come on, we better get going. First, we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like there's something kind of fishy going on over there.
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that you're easily gonna win this procurement contest Lady Ningguang has set up. As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you. Come on, let's find somewhere a little more private, and we can get down to brass tacks.
No, I don't need it.
Don't be like that. Hey, come on! Don't go! Why don't you stand there after her?
Oh, right, yeah.
เปิดแล้วครับ Interlude Chapter Act 1 The Crane Return on the Wind นะฮะก็เป็นเควส
They said they had some useful information.
ที่มา
Information's just what we need right now. Let's follow them and see what we can find out.
เป็นเควสที่มาพร้อมกับเฉินเหอนั่นเองนะครับตัวละครใหม่ ที่จะเข้ามามีบทบาทและนี่ก็คือเงื่อนไขนะครับในการที่อีเวนต์Fleeting Colors In Flight เนี่ยจะทำได้นะครับก็จะต้องผ่านเควสนี้ให้จบก่อน
Well, will you look at that, ma'am? Nowhere left to run. Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some Mora, we give you a little info. Everybody's a winner.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something different about her.
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you, I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. I shouldn't have to spell this out to you. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over and nobody getting hurt.
I won't.
No more excuses! I know you have money. I saw you. Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee Pavilion, ordering a table full of food, and only taking a few bites. Then Shinyu at kiosk, then Wanmin restaurant. Same story each time. You order all the signature dishes, take a few bites, then you're on your way again. How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family? And since you're so rich, what's the loss to you in giving us a little spare change, huh?
Master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue Harbor. But here we are. Perhaps... yes. Let's call it fate.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
The Millilith? What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this? You ought to mind your own business. I swear!
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians? You're coming with us.
No, don't be angry, sir. Please, let me explain.
โดนเอาตัวไปแล้วนะ มาขู่จะให้ข้อมูลกับสาวคนนี้ เกือบโดนเธออัดเข้าให้ เธอเป็นอะไรไหม
Shenhe.
เขาชื่อเฉินเหอนะครับ
Shenhe?
My name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is, well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
Oh, I've heard about you two before. Thank you for helping to defuse the situation. I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is Liyue Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
Laws? No, apparently not.
Really? So how exactly have you...
เสียงท้องร้อง
That would be my stomach growling. I haven't eaten enough.
She's so honest. Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each dish. Then of course you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals. Medicinal herbs?
กินดอกไม้เหรอเนี่ย
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Boo Boo Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal. After all, you can't work on an empty stomach. Do you think Shenhe might be an adeptus? It seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem to get how things work here. If she is an adeptus, that would explain everything. Where does she fit in with the other adepti, though? Paimon's super curious.
นี่ก็สงสัยว่าเฉินเหอเป็นเซียนหรือเปล่านะครับ ก็ดูแปลกๆอยู่นะ สวัสดีนาริด้วยนะครับ ใช่แล้วยังไม่นอนจ้า
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Chingson, glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating them.
แล้วเธอก็กินมันเข้าไป
My hunger has now abated. Thank you. Rather awful. Though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance. After consuming a large quantity of them, bitterness is all that remains.
So, how come you chow down on these and barely touch the restaurant food? If Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order a whole table of food and eat it all in one go.
Because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future. The food of the mortal realm is most delicious, but should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development. Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Return to the mountains. That proves it. Paimon knew she was an adeptus.
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot. We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition. And now we're probably super behind because we've been held up for so long.
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want if you win! Were you interested in the contest too, Shenhe?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intention of joining a contest. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend you my assistance. Oh, don't worry. I ask for nothing in
จะช่วย
return.
เราครับ
Wow! You really don't have to, but having an adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier, so...
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest plan ever!
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified as awesome. I do, however, believe it will be highly effective. We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently ahead of us. Then, we alone shall become the victors.
Veto! That is not acceptable! Not by a long shot!
Really? But I hear that competition is in essence about conflict and one-upmanship.
Look, we want to win this competition fair and square, okay? Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils. Let's start at the top of the list and work down. So, for Plostrite...
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there. So, it's you.
ไปจูมานะครับ
Baishu? What are you doing out here?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber, maybe for its first aid on site. I didn't ask, though. Far be it from me to pry into my customers' personal affairs. Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi, meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed right now. I don't suppose any of you are looking for part-time work by any chance?
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here though, you seem to know a lot. Have you ever heard of something called Sunset Vermilionite?
Ah, the variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the Seven Mountain Treatises. When activated, Sunset Vermilionite rises up all the way into the clouds. It's very rare indeed. As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in existence has been mined and taken possession of. But the Feiyun Commerce Guild would know far more about this than I do.
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Thanks, Baishu.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all. And if there's anything further you need from me, just come to the Boo Boo Pharmacy.
โอเคไปต่อที่เฟอร์ยุนคอมเมอร์สกิลนะครับ สวัสดีเดือนหนาวด้วยนะครับ ใช่ยังไม่นอนครับ ลุยเควสยาวๆเลยจ้ะ
Why does Lady Ningguang need so much wound dressing? Is it really such risky business rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is all most peculiar.
นี่เราได้ชื่อเสียงที่หลีกเย่ด้วยนะครับ พี่ได้คิดว่าเราน่าจะไปรับรางวัลชื่อเสียงสักหน่อยแล้วเดี๋ยวเราไปเฟยยุนเราน่าจะไปเลเวล3ได้แล้วนะแล้วก็คราฟคอนเดนซ์เรซินได้หวังว่าจะเป็นแบบนั้นเวลาทำเควสใหญ่ๆของแต่ละเมืองเนี่ยมันจะมักจะได้คะแนนชื่อเสียงเมืองอยู่นะครับนี่1โอ้อันเดียวเองโอ้อันเดียวเองนะครับยังไม่พ้นเลเวล1ไปเลเวล2เลยนะยังอันล็อกอันนี้ไม่ได้นะครับก็ถือว่าน้อยมากนะฮะโอเคป่ะเฟยยุนต้องทำพวกเควสโลกอะไรพวกนี้จะได้มากขึ้นเนี่ยมีเต็มไปหมดเลยครับเควสโลกตัวตกกระจายต่างๆไม่เป็นไรมีครับ
Master Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency in your voice?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Everyone's been completely caught off guard. Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out if I happen to see you.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now. I'll deal with them myself shortly.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master. With you on the job, I can breathe a sigh of relief.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here. We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment. Shu, I need to entertain some guests. Please continue with your work for the time being, and we'll discuss the matter of the guild's orders in more detail later on.
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on? And how, pray tell, may I be of service?
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of Sunset Vermilionite?
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's contest as well.
As well? Do you mean...
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite, but only one piece. We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction, and a lot of interested parties have already come to us inquiring about the price. At the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case, I'm guessing the final transaction price may be in excess of 500 million more.
500 ล้าน
500 million?
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price is greatly inflated, and it's just not worth it.
But without any Sunset Vermilionite...
Don't panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gazer?
Who?
Oh, Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper, but if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away.
เป็นชื่อเซียนนะครับ Mountain Shaper ก็คือเจ้าบงการภูผา Sea Gazer ก็น่าจะเป็นชื่อเซียนอีกคน
Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds, Sea Gazer once built an abode to store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some Sunset Vermilionite. After Sea Gazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time. Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently. They make some oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is situated in the Lisha area.
That's great! But is it really okay for us to just go and take his treasure? Wouldn't it be a little, disrespectful with him being an Adeptus?
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Sea Gazer was very open-minded. Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this bother him.
Open-minded? I have not heard of Sea Gazer being described in this way before.
May I ask where you read that?
Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then, let's go.
There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine. Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs, especially when it comes to their defense mechanisms. Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long. So please, be very careful.
Okay, we will be. Thanks, Xingqiu.
ไปครับ search for sea gazer sunset ใช่ไหม sea gaze sunset แถวลีชานะครับ ไปหา sunset vermilion นี่เควสโลกขึ้นเต็มเลยอ๋ออยู่ตรงนี้เองครับใกล้ๆ
Let's see. Xingqiu said it should be around here, but Paimon doesn't see anything.
This place was hidden using a special Adepti art. But now that I have removed it, we can inspect the area more closely.
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around. Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there?
เป็นผนึกนะครับ follow the series
We got to here and then disappear. Should we go over and take a look?
ดันเจียนครับเลเวล40น้ำแข็งหินหรือว่าไฟโอเคน้ำแข็งหินไฟ
Weren't we at a waterfall just now? How did we suddenly end up here? Oh, so many clouds. It feels like we're high up in the sky.
I believe this is the abode of that Adeptus. With any luck, the sunset vermilionite we're looking for should be in here.
Really? Let Paimon see. Huh? Isn't that the Sealy from before? Look, it's gone and snuck beneath the clouds. And now that Paimon takes a closer look, the rocks and trees here don't seem complete. Oh, could there be something below the clouds?
These are not real clouds. They are the product of an Adepti art used for spatial partitioning. If we want to go down, we must first destroy the mechanism that is maintaining the Adepti art.
All right, then let's do it.
I sense the presence of monsters in this place. I don't know where they are hiding, so we'd better be careful.
แล้วก็ได้ทดลองเชิญเหอด้วยนะครับอันนี้คือเมฆที่เดินได้นะ
Windblade.
ใส่โอเคลงไปไหนล่ะ เดี๋ยวนะขึ้นมาแล้วครับแม่เบลอแล้วกระโดดไม่ติดสายที่2มีแผ่นให้ด้วยบนนั้นมีอะไรไหมนะมีกล่องแอบอยู่โอ้โหใช้ได้มีซีจิลมีของนิดหน่อยที่นี่ก็ไม่มีศัตรูนะตีหินเสร็จมีศัตรูซะแล้วเอามาใส่ปั๊บปลดล็อก
My will embodied.
โอเคป่ะ
It appears that we've been taken for intruders. This time, why not allow me to take care of this?
เขาบอกว่า
My will
เขา
embodied.
จัดการโอเค
You will regret this! Cryo incarnate! The core of the mechanism is exposed. Now's our chance.
ต้องทำลายล่วงเลย
It looks like we need to go further down. But before that, let's destroy the guard mechanisms on this level first. Obey! My will embodied.
โอ้โหมีหุ่นออกมาครับ
Transfiguration.
Get back!
ทำร้ายเกาะ
Keep back!
No one escapes my sight.
Dodge this!
Prepare to be blown away.
Don't get frostbite.
By ordinance divine. Take your true form.
โอเคตีต่อลูนกัดตัวนี้รออะไรอยู่นะ
Take your true form.
เฮ้ยมันตื่นแล้ว
We're gonna fall. This time we're really gonna fall.
อ๋อตกลงมาอย่างลึกจะเป็นน้ำนะครับ
Luckily, there was a pool of water at the bottom. Otherwise, that could have ended very differently. Hey! That sealie's on the move again. Let's catch up with it. Huh. Something looks different about this stone wall.
มีพัซเซิ
Let's
ล
take a closer look.
โอเคสงสัยว่ามันมีไม่มีแล้วมาแล้วครับพอ
My will embodied.
โอเคต้องทำลายคออีกแล้ว
Transfiguration.
Windblade.
Cryo incarnate. Unleash.
เฮ้ยมีศัตรูออกมา
Be gone. No escape.
This moment will be frozen in time.
Obey. Unleash.
มาอีกแล้วลูนการ์ดคราวนี้
Get him.
What's the hurry?
Get back. Take your true form. Take your true form.
Freeze!
หมุนแย่แล้ว
No one escapes my sights.
By ordinance in your dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. Cool it.
จับให้ได้ตัวหนึ่งโอเคตัวหนึ่งก็ยังดี
Dodge this. I kill you.
โอ้โหตายเลย เอ้ยไม่ใช่ยังโอเค
My will embodied.
โอเคโอ้ความรู้ขึ้นมาด้วยนะครับGOV Sharp โอเคเราเพิ่งเจอเป็นครั้งแรกเซรี่มาอยู่นี่
Look over there! Could that be the sunset vermilionite?
ครบ2 เสาปั๊บมีหีบให้เราโอเคนั่งได้ด้วย ที่นั่งเซียนนะฮะเป็นที่นั่งพักผ่อนน่าจะถึงจุดพักของเขาแล้วแหละไปนี่ Sunset Vermilionite ที่เราตามหา
Is this it? Is this the sunset vermilionite? It's so huge! That's true, but then again, why isn't it floating?
Plaustrite doesn't float until it's activated. It may look different from most ordinary stones, but it weighs around the same amount. Only after being activated does Plaustrite reveal its true nature, breaking free from the shackles of the mortal realm and ascending up into the heavens.
Wow, Shenhe, you seem to know everything about this.
Only because my master is fond of chatting about these things. The moment she has some time to spare, she'll come straight for me and start telling story after story. I don't care for her stories most of the time. I certainly didn't expect them to ever come in handy like this.
Hold on a sec. Paimon just realized something. If we activate it here, there's no way we'll be able to get it back to the site, right? Heck, we'll be dragged up into the sky too! But if we don't activate it, how else are we gonna lift it? This rock must weigh well over 1,000 pounds, surely!
Don't worry. I can handle the weight quite easily.
Are you sure? Be careful!
Please don't worry. I'm well aware that a Plaustrite sample this large must be highly valuable. I will be gentle with it and make sure it does not get damaged.
ไพมอนคือหมายถึงเธอน่ะฉันเหรอ
My safety.
That's right! Paimon's sure you can handle it and everything, but if something this heavy lands on you, you're gonna get yourself hurt, no matter who you are. You gotta be extra careful when lifting heavy objects. It's just common sense.
Is it now? Well then, thank you. I'll go on ahead with the Plaustrite. Let's meet at the building site later.
เฉินเหอก็มีพลังสูงนะ
Shenhe
สามารถ
able to carry that huge rock all by herself. Adepti super strength much? We can't slow down yet. Let's go meet her at the building site.
ไปเจอเฉินเหอที่ building siteออกมาที่หน้าน้ำตกตรงนี้นะครับ
A reward on the road.
โอ้ตรงนั้นมีบิสเมดด้วย เราอยู่ที่ไหนเนี่ย เราอยู่แถวใกล้ๆหลี่เย่นะครับ building site ที่ไปเจอเฉินเหออยู่ตรงนี้ โอเค เราออกมาจากสถานที่ทีนี้พี่ได้คิดว่าเดี๋ยววันนี้คงจะแค่นี้ก่อนนะครับ แล้วก็ในสตรีมหน้าเดี๋ยวเราจะมาต่อเควสนี้นะครับก็คือกลับไปเจอกับเฉินเหอนะครับที่นั่นโอเคยังไงวันนี้เราก็จะเบรกกันแค่นี้สำหรับเควสเทพเจ้านะครับ Archon Quest The Crane Return on the Wind Interlude Chapter Act 1 นะครับยังคงอยู่ที่เนี่ย Sea Gate Sunset นะครับยังไม่จบก็ไม่เป็นไรเดี๋ยวเราจะหยุดไว้แค่นี้ก่อนนะครับขอบคุณทุกคนที่แวะมาชมมาทักทายกันด้วยนะครับแล้วพบกันในสตรีมหน้าสวัสดีครับ